Tariffs have played a crucial role in shaping the economic and political landscape of the United States since its founding. As taxes on imported goods, tariffs have been used to protect domestic industries, generate government revenue, and at times serve as tools of diplomatic leverage. However, they have also sparked controversy, trade wars, and economic instability. The history of tariffs in the U.S. is one of cyclical shifts between protectionism and free trade, driven by the political and economic priorities of each era. From the earliest days of the Republic, tariffs were a central part of American economic policy. The first significant tariff legislation, the Tariff Act of 1789, was primarily intended to raise revenue for the young government, but it also set a precedent for protecting domestic industries. Alexander Hamilton, the nation's first Secretary of the Treasury, championed tariffs as a means of supporting American manufacturing and reducing reliance on foreign goods. Throughout the 19th century, tariffs remained a major source of government income, as the federal government had no income tax until 1913. The early 1800s saw fierce debates over tariffs, particularly between industrializing northern states and agricultural southern states. Northern manufacturers favored high tariffs to protect against European competition, while the South, which relied on exporting cotton and importing manufactured goods, opposed them. The 1828 Tariff of Abominations led to the nullification crisis, in which South Carolina threatened secession, illustrating how divisive tariff policy could be. After the Civil War, tariffs remained high as the U.S. South government sought to protect domestic industries and fund Reconstruction efforts. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw continued support for protectionist policies, with measures such as the McKinley Tariff, 1890, and the Fordney-McCumber Tariff, 1922. These tariffs were designed to bolster American industry, but also led to retaliatory measures from trading partners. One of the most infamous tariff laws in U.S. history was the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, enacted in response to the Great Depression. It dramatically raised tariffs on imported goods, leading to a collapse in international trade as other countries retaliated with their own tariffs. Many economists argue that Smoot-Hawley deepened the global economic downturn rather than alleviating it. In response, the U.S. shifted toward a more open trade policy, exemplified by the Reciprocal Trade Agreements Act of 1934, which allowed the president to negotiate lower tariffs through bilateral agreements. After World War II, the United States played a key role in establishing a global system of free trade through agreements such as the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, and later the World Trade Organization, WTO. Tariff reductions were a cornerstone of U.S. economic policy during this period, with agreements such as the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, in 1994, further lowering trade barriers. These policies reflected the belief that free trade would promote global economic growth and geopolitical stability. In recent years, tariffs have reemerged as a major policy tool. The Trump administration imposed tariffs on Chinese goods and other imports, citing unfair trade practices and national security concerns. Supporters argued that these measures protected American jobs and industries, while critics contended that they disrupted supply chains and raised prices for consumers. The Biden administration has maintained some of these tariffs while seeking new trade agreements and diplomatic solutions. The debate over tariffs remains deeply complex, with both benefits and drawbacks. On the positive side, tariffs can protect domestic industries from foreign competition, promote economic independence, and serve as leverage in trade negotiations. They can also help balance trade deficits and prevent reliance on foreign manufacturing, particularly in critical industries such as steel, technology, and pharmaceuticals. However, tariffs also come with significant downsides. They can lead to higher consumer prices, as import taxes are often passed on to consumers. Retaliatory tariffs from other countries can hurt American exports, harming industries that rely on international markets, such as agriculture and manufacturing. Additionally, protectionist policies can stifle innovation and efficiency by shielding domestic companies from competition. Throughout U.S. history, tariff policy has been shaped by economic conditions, political ideologies, and global relationships. While tariffs have at times bolstered domestic industries, they have also triggered economic downturns and trade conflicts. The ongoing debate over tariffs reflects a broader tension between economic nationalism and global trade integration, a challenge that will continue to evolve as the United States navigates the complexities of the modern economy.